All right, so here's what we've got. We re-signed Shane Simon. That's probably out there. We waived injured David Agwobu. Unfortunate to see the injury and everything, and appreciate what he was able to do when he was here. He was injured in Friday's practice. I think you guys are aware of that. So will not practice today. Got to list them here. So Mike Edwards still with the hamstring week to week. Cole Bishop shoulder week to week. Chase Claypool with the toe day to day. Ty Johnson with the hamstring day to day. Lael Collins with a knee day to day. Travis Clayton shoulder also day to day. Nick Morrow core muscle. So that groin area day to day. Eddie with the rib, and then Dawson Knox on a groin / veteran rest day. So
that's a pretty extensive list for a week and a half in. Is it concerning at all to you, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to develop when you're not on the field, but we'll find a way through it. We've done it before. Full confidence in medical staff to get those guys back as soon as we can, and we develop the guys that are out on the field. That's what we do.
How does Cole keep up when he's not practicing?
It's hard. I mean, you've got to do as much as you can mentally. I mean, when you look at Mike's situation as well, Mike missed most of the spring, now missing a lot of the valuable reps in training camp, and now Cole. It's really hard, right? Especially when you don't have background in the system. We were talking about it as a staff last night, and TB missed a significant portion of camp last year, but TB had been in the system for at least 1 year prior. So it's a challenge in order to develop those guys, and it's going to take some time.
Sean, what were your takeaways from watching the kickoffs in the Hall of Fame game?
I haven't gotten to watch. I haven't watched that footage yet. Just really was where I thought you were going, was watching what we did the other night in the stadium. So, but I'll get to that. I know Coach Smiley and them are also gathering information as we go week to week through the preseason.
How about the Friday practice on Friday? Yeah. What did you take from that? Rewatching it.
Kickoff return specifically, or the
sure.
whole practice?
Both.
Yeah, kickoff return. We're still, trying new things out there. The players are trying to get comfortable with some of the timing that goes on with it, and that's still time on task as we move forward. And then overall, there were some really good moments. I thought there was some plays that were made that were really good. And then overall, we've got it's always great to get in the stadium for the first time, especially with our fans, because they make it as game-like as you can, with the excitement, the energy that's in the air, and that's why we do it. Having said that, we still have a lot of work to do to get ourselves to be able to take our fundamentals, our techniques from the practice field to the game field, situationally the same way. So that's some of what we'll be working on this week.
Sean, what do you get out of Kareem Jackson and Terrell Burgess?
Say it again.
What are you hoping to get out of the two safeties you signed last week?
It's hard. So far, we haven't been able to rep them much because we've been trying to ramp them up, the right way. They'll now they'll be able to open up more today. That's some of why we didn't go live when they were in the game the other night, or some of the practice, just to continue to ramp them up the right way. So I'll know more. I think today will be the first day they're full go, and be able to evaluate them accordingly.
With the injuries, DeMar's gotten a lot more first-team reps. What have you seen from him with pads on?
He continues to improve. Again, like his focus, the rapport that he's building with T-Rap back there is an important one. But continuing to grow in the system, continuing to grow and understanding what's expected with his position specifically. As much as they're the same, there's a couple subtle differences between the strong and the free safety position.
Yours really come on strong during training camp. It seems like day after day he's making plays. If you could identify one thing, maybe a couple things that's spurred his good training camp, what would you say that is?
Well, I think two things that come to mind. One is he continues to work tirelessly to improve. So credit him for that. And then two is the addition of Jamal and starting with a clean slate and the belief in there that with what Bobby and Joe Dana and now Jamal have added to, I think, that those two things combined, at least early on here, have, I think, been what's helped them.
Watching the reaction from the coaching staff every time Kyer makes a play, is there an intentionality to making sure that they celebrate and get him mentally in a better spot than Casper?
Well, hopefully, Josh, that's true of any player, right? And sometimes you have to give belief or give confidence before you get it. And I'm not saying that's the case in this situation or all situations, but I do believe that our environment and the environment that we build, I would hope, helps give confidence to each and every player so that they can become the best version of themselves while they're in Buffalo. And I think that's happened in a lot of the players that we've had. And so specific to Kyer, it is important. I mean, he's been through, for sure, let's just say last year alone, that was a challenging and trying year. And so there is an element of, or a degree of, reinstilling that belief and that confidence.
Hey, Sean, Daquan Hardy was, I think, a guy that you also liked the return ability, the possibility of that. He's at a deep position, trying to win a spot as a DB. Can you talk a little bit about how he's done, but then also add the return element to that?
Yeah, big time play the other day, the other night in the stadium on the fade ball in the corner of the end zone there. That was a big time play. The return element was really why he was drafted. That was the biggest reason why he was drafted. And from spring to now, he's done a great job of getting more and more comfortable under the ball in the return game, the punt return in particular.
And as far as the DB portion of that, what does he got to do to stand out? Because roster spots are precious.
Well, knowing the defense, one, and that's going to continue to unfold as he's a rookie, and then two is the physicality that you got to bring in our defense to the table. We don't play with 10 guys out there when it's a run and 11 when it's a pass, so corners in our defense are expected to play physical in the run game as well.
Sean, we've seen from Connor McDermott, or Connor McGovern, excuse me, and his transition to safety so far, and camaraderie with Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I know the snaps has been mentioned, and that's real. We've got to continue to work through that, and I'm confident those guys will do that. Both are pros, and it means a lot to both those guys. Connor's a leader on our football team, leader on our offense. I count on him for a ton. So just, I think more than anything, the communication that's unfolded this season, this off season, and now into training camp has been impressive, and that's important for an offense. Everyone's on the same page pre-snap, that we can execute when the ball's snapped.
Taron Johnson had a few big plays. Taron Johnson had a few big plays back in the stadium on Friday, but he's also talked to us throughout OTAs, minicamp, training camp about how he's trying to be more vocal, trying to step up as a leader. What have you seen from him, not just as football players specifically, but kind of in those less tangible things?
Yeah, it's interesting. With Mike and Jordan, Taron was kind of the third or fourth part of that group, with Trey baked into that, and now with those people, with Trey and Mike and Jordan, no longer here. It's interesting to watch now Taron really, I would say, step up or feel like maybe it's now his time to become a leader and be that voice that those guys were, and they were so good at it. That's needed on our defense because we have so many young players and new players to our system. That defensive leadership will be an important part of our growth.
Sean, in that vein, a lot from the outside looks like Taylor Rapp, a lot's going to be expected of him. Did you see a lot of growth last year during the year? Was it in the spring? Is it a combination of those things to put a lot on him for this year?
I would say he was really working hard during the year last season, Mike, to continue to grow and get comfortable, because you got to remember he was a starter in LA. Comes here, he was not a starter. But then there were games where he was a starter, or he was playing in certain phases of a game plan. Third down, then he goes and makes the big play in the Miami game to clinch the division on the road. So really impressive journey, if you will, in one season. And now through the spring until now, he's really, I think, ascended into a more of a full-time starter, yes, but also we're counting on him to help lead our defense and be one of those true signal callers back there, orchestrating the defense along with TB.
John, given the amount,
and I see is that William and Mary? I see that William and Mary T-shirt back there. Yeah, go Tribe.
Does you have a question?
No, well, go ahead. Let's let the William and Mary person here. I love it.
Well, I'm a current senior at William and Mary, but I'm also a current intern for the Buffalo News.
Love it.
And I'm just writing a story about how the Buffalo Bills have a long connection with William and Mary, and I was just wondering if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm honored to be another fellow alum of William and Mary to also wear the colors of the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it goes way back. I'm not sure everyone truly understands that. That's probably a conversation or a press conference for another time. But yeah, there's a lot to write about there. And I mean, Coach Levy and I talk about it quite a bit. And the connection. Mark Kelso, I remember Mark coming back to campus when I was playing at William and Mary and sharing some of his knowledge and wisdom. And I mean, the list goes on, so it runs deep, and I have a great, obviously, love for both places. So,
given the impact that Stephon Diggs made on this team for a season, when do you become, I don't want to use the word comfortable, but when do you become confident that his numbers are replaceable? He can be replaced in the whole scheme of things.
You never replace Stephon Diggs. I don't even think you try to. It's a different team. It's each team is shaped a little bit differently. So this team will have to take on its own identity, and I'm not asking anybody out there to try and be Steph Diggs. They need to be themselves and develop and build our offense this year around the personnel that we have this year. So.